everyone, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be sharing my favorite and my least favorite Met Gala looks. Yes, from my couch with greasy hair, which is why I put on a hat. So yeah, let's get into it. I do want to say that I have seen people do this on TikTok, and I wanted to do it here on YouTube, and especially I believe it's Girl Boss Town. She says ranking things from her couch. That's kind of the inspo for this. So I wanted to just share what my thoughts were as someone who is interested in fashion and the Met Gala. We love it. So let's go. We're gonna start with my least favorite looks. I have my computer here because I saved some of them and I want to be able to reference them. I'll put them up on the screen next to me so that you have something to look at. I do have to say I may have some unpopular opinions, and if you don't agree with me, that is totally okay. I'm going to rapid fire through some because there are so many looks, but I'll get more into the specifics on my true least favorite, a couple favorites, and my true favorites as well. I'll also give you the ones that are kind of in the middle where I'm like, that's pretty, but it's not really giving Met or something that's unique necessarily, which you'll notice I kind of do lean a little bit more towards the sleek, simple, classic. There are a few that are more Met out there looks, but that's just my own personal taste. And I know the Met is for out there looks, but I feel like you can do it in a really tasteful way and still have it be more sleek instead of just a bunch of things. I felt like some people's things were kind of just crafty and it looked like a craft store just threw up on them, and that's not my favorite. If it's well done, that's great. If it's not well done, not so great. So the actual theme was Sleeping Beauties. The dress code was Garden of Time, and I believe Anna Wintour meant for people to take looks from prior years, from way back when, and wear them on the carpet. So there was a little bit of confusion with that, and I think that led to some reasons why some looks just weren't great. So I was under the impression it was Garden of Time, and so I really liked the more garden theme looks. However, there is one look that it did look beautiful on her. I didn't think it fit the theme, but it totally fit the theme. We'll talk about that. I have a few different rankings for some of the outfits now that I know what the intention was. So let's get right into it. One of my least favorites was Kim Kardashian's look. I didn't like the sweater. I understood what she wanted from it. I just felt like the sweater looked really ratty and old, and honestly, the way that the dress actually fit her, it just didn't really look super well constructed in videos. In photos, it looks amazing. Also, I don't know how she could breathe, and I just felt like it wasn't anything super special, and I expected a little bit more from her, if I'm honest. That also brings me to Kylie. I just didn't really understand how that look was on theme. Same with Chris. Chris had big flowers. I liked the idea of Chris's. I just feel like it did not turn out the way that it should have. And Kylie's looked pretty on her. I'm also just really not a fan of the pointy boob situation. It just didn't look flattering. It looked like the points were in the wrong place, and so then it made the dress look like it didn't fit her well, and I just feel like that was a mistake. Like, she did look beautiful, but I feel like the dress was just a miss for me. Another miss for me was Madeline Klein. It was just okay. It didn't really stand out. I was just like, oh, okay, you know. Also, another miss, I'm so sad about this, was Kelsey Ballerini. I just felt like it wasn't flattering at the back. There was some angle that just made it look like it was giving her just a weird shape, and I didn't like that. In some photos it looks good, and I also kind of feel like it was a little bit crafty. So, and she didn't really go with Chase Stokes. I felt like their outfits didn't go together. The vibes weren't the same. She was all like cutesy, fairy, gardeny, and he was all, I don't know the words I'm looking for. So I kind of feel like those missed the mark, in my opinion. Another unpopular thing is I did not like Dua Lipa's at all, and I didn't really like Demi Lovato's. If she had not had the flowers on the dress and just on the train, would have loved it. And I did not like Zendaya's first look. I don't know what the vision was though. I haven't seen her talk about it. I just didn't know how it really fit the theme. A lot of people have been making TikToks about how it was perfect and no one else did the theme like her. And I just didn't really see it. I just felt like it was not serving her. But I don't know the intention, and maybe that makes it better. I don't really know, but it just wasn't one of my favorites. Okay, now we're gonna get to my absolute 2 least favorites. And one of these is gonna hurt some people's feelings and is gonna be surprising to people. And again, this is just my personal opinion. Eddie Redmayne, I don't know how you say his last name, was a huge no from me. I don't know, it was so bad. I saw it come on the screen and I was like, no, who let you walk out the house like that? Like I know that he had coordinating outfits with whoever he went with, and I'm really sorry. I don't know her name. I don't know if it's his wife. I don't know. It just was a big no for me. His was super unflattering, and I just feel like it missed the mark. Now for my real least favorite was Gigi Hadid. I am so sorry. What was that? It looked horrible on her. Not in figure wise. It just, the coloring was off. I felt like the coloring for her skin was off. And one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of my least favorite looks, some of them aren't true, but just are not flattering colors on people. And often when they have more flattering colors, it's better. But Gigi Hadid's was a big miss for me. The more I looked at it, the more I hated it. I understand what they were going for. It was just so bad, in my opinion. So bad. It did not suit her. It just looked like someone just barfed a jacket and then flowers, and the flower placement was weird. There were a lot of weird flower placements that I did not like. Like, I didn't really like Rita Ora's dress. It just was I didn't really like, who was it? Oh my gosh. It was similar to Sarah Jessica Parker's dress, but done worse than hers. Those were kind of just my main least favorites. And then there were ones that just like looked like you were just walking on a red carpet and it was just kind of meh. And those weren't my favorite. Okay, J-Lo's dress, meh. Like, it looked beautiful on her. She looked beautiful, but I don't understand how it was on theme at all. So now we're going to get into some of my more favorite looks and just ones that kind of stood out to me a little bit. Jaden Smith and Willow Smith. So I don't really know how this was on theme, but I just felt like it was so him, and I really liked that he stayed true to him. Like, the way that he was dressed was Jaden Smith. So I just really liked that aspect of it, and it felt like it was giving swag and it was different and it wasn't just a suit or a tux. So we liked that. Lil Nas X was one of my favorites. I usually don't like what he wears, but I was like, this is how you show up to the Met as a man. This is how you do it. It felt on theme for the Garden of Time vibe. Loved it. Troye Sivan's, I felt like the idea was there. I didn't love how everything was so form-fitted though. Sebastian Stan, loved it. Wasn't a fan of the silver pin situation though, but loved the idea of it. And well, I guess since we're just on the men who came, we're going to go with my favorite, which should be of no surprise to you. Sir Lewis Hamilton, the meaning, how deep he took it, the poem, the fact the poem was sewn into the jacket. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go look it up, because he explains it more eloquently than I ever could, and just the way that it meant something. Oh, so Lewis Hamilton took the cake for me, partially because it's Lewis Hamilton, but I just loved the significance and the meaning behind everything. And you just need to go watch his interview where he explains the outfit, because it was great. I loved Emma Chamberlain's. It was a little goth for my taste, but I did really like it. I felt like it was giving the garden theme. Like I said, kind of my thought process originally was the garden theme. Sabrina Carpenter looked pretty, but like, it wasn't my favorite. Gabrielle Union Wade, that's mermaid done so right. It was so beautiful. I loved that dress. I felt like it was giving Met, but sleek, which you know that I like. I don't exactly know how it was on the theme, but I did love it. She looked stunning. She looked so beautiful. That was a great call. Also, really loved Mindy Kaling's. Really loved it. I have not seen people talking about it. Granted, I haven't looked up what people are saying because I wanted to give my opinion without getting swayed by anything. I felt like it was giving Met. It was giving like just volume. It looked earthy. It looked princess ethereal. I don't know. I just loved it. Like, I don't know what, the structure, it was just so well done. It looks so good on her. I'm looking at a video of it. It's beautiful. It wasn't my all-time favorite, but it was so good. I did like Tyla's sand dress. It was done well. At first, it didn't stand out to me until she was talking about it. And then I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. And I don't know how she got around. I saw that Olivier was cutting it into a short dress. And I actually kind of liked it better short, but that's just my opinion. It looked beautiful on her. She looked gorgeous. Again, it was good. Wasn't one of my favorites. Can we talk about Sarah Jessica Parker and how I knew it was her just based on the hair? Her dress was giving Met, and it was giving a little bit Kentucky Derby as well. I loved it. I saw people hating on it. I thought that it was like garden party vibe, and I really liked that, especially because they were talking about Garden of Time as a book. I haven't read it. I don't know much about it, so I'm just saying that it was giving like I'm going to tea in Alice in Wonderland kind of vibes, and to me, I really liked that. I also noticed that some people's dresses that I didn't like but liked the structure of and liked the concept were very Alice in Wonderland-y, kind of like Sabrina Carpenter's. Like, she looked beautiful. It just didn't stand out that much to me. I felt like there were better. And it was a duo. I'll show you a picture. If those flowers were red, I felt like the Queen of Hearts would have worn that, and it would be a great Queen of Hearts costume for a movie. But again, it wasn't one of my favorites just as it was. I don't know. It was giving Met, though. I will give them that. So these two go hand in hand because they were both Loewe. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm pretty sure. But Taylor Russell and Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande wearing actual mother of pearl. Oh, she looked ethereal. She looked beautiful. I love her. I was really happy to see her. It looked gorgeous. Taylor Russell loved the wood. Loved how they both had the structured corset with the drop waist. Loved both of the silhouettes. They both looked beautiful on each of them. I did really enjoy both of theirs, but again, they weren't my favorite. Now we're going to get into the one that I told you that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but then when Anna Wintour described the actual theme, I was like, yes, this was it. Kendall Jenner. Not a fan of the butt crack in the back though, but it fit her perfectly. It fit her so beautifully. She looked beautiful. Granted, she looks beautiful all the time, but I just loved how well it fit her. It was giving Met, it was giving kind of Game of Thrones, kind of that vibe. And I did really like it. I wasn't sure how much I liked it, but I feel like it actually fit the actual intended theme of Anna. And so I really enjoyed that was true, but I would never choose to wear it, and I didn't like the butt crack. I also will say that Emrata's look I liked until I saw the back, but again, it's nothing I haven't seen before. Can we talk about Zendaya's second look? Now that one knocked it out of the park for me. Didn't really like the first one, but I really liked the second, and I really liked the flower headpiece and just how well the dress was constructed to her. So I thought she redeemed herself with that one in my eyes. I really, really loved it. Now for my two favorites. Mona Patel. That dress was stunning. Oh my gosh, she's stunning as well. So beautifully constructed. As you can tell, I love the beautifully constructed things. Oh my gosh. I still will be thinking about it. That's the thing about like Ariana's and Taylor Russell's is like they were beautiful, but am I going to still be thinking about it a couple years from now as a Met look? Probably not. Will I be thinking of Mona Patel's? You bet. Oh my goodness. Loved it. She looked gorgeous. It fit her beautifully. It was constructed beautifully. I felt like it was on theme. It was giving fairy, garden, princess. Loved it. I also feel like I should put in some of the ones that I felt like were craft thrown up everywhere before I tell you my favorite before I saw Mona Patel's. So here are a whole bunch of the ones that I felt were crafty. My favorite was Dove Cameron's. She looked so pretty. She looked so pretty. And I loved the just kind of decaying, but not totally decaying vibes that kind of looked floral, kind of looked woodsy. It looked fairy-like. It looked princess-like. I loved it. I loved it. I literally loved it. I don't know if people agree with me or not, but like it was one of my favorites. I felt like it was giving Met. I felt like it was giving Garden of Time, which is what I was under the impression the theme was. It looked beautiful on her. The coloring was great for her. Oh my gosh, I'm just obsessed with it. Okay, one of my other favorites. Not my favorite, but this all made sense. My jaw was dropped. It was just beautiful. It fit her beautifully. Phoebe Deniver. I think I'm saying her name right. I'm really sorry if I'm not. I'm not familiar with her or what she's from or in or anything. She looked gorgeous. And then when she was like, I'm wearing Victoria Beckham, I was like, oh, this all makes sense. She looked so beautiful. It just was so flattering on her, and it was giving a subtle Met effect instead of it being like boom in your face. It was subtle, and I just felt like it was beautiful. So that's my take on some of the Met 2024 looks. Again, you don't have to agree with me. That is okay. I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. Let me know one of your favorites and if you had any least favorites and why. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I'm thankful you're here. Until next time.